Yeah. Good morning, masters. Welcome to today is the 40th day, right? 40,
Yeah, 40th day.
40th day. Welcome to the 40th day of meditation series. Master your life through meditation. So, such a beautiful platform where we are all coming together and learning about the concepts of meditations, science of meditation, and everything about truth and experiencing it. The breath meditation, Anapanasati. So, let us develop ourselves in the consciousness of breath. So let's sit comfortably. We'll do meditation for next half hour, then followed by light wisdom, and then Q&A. We'll end the session. Please sit very comfortably in your best postures. Close your eyes. Bring your attention to your normal, natural breath. As you observe your breath, make sure you do nothing, you want nothing, and you are nothing. Just empty yourself. Meditation is an effortless effort. Observing breath is key. Feel your breath. Slow and steady. Don't go with your thoughts. Get thoughts, just return back to breath. Masters, be with your breath, last 2 minutes. Last 1 minute. Be with your breath. Last 1 minute. Last 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Please slowly take your hands and put it on your eyes, Masters. And gently, whenever you're ready, slowly open your eyes and look at your palms. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Stop the music now. Let us thank the Masters, universe, and the energies we received today. Thank you very much. Thank you, Masters. Thank you for the wonderful opportunity. Beautiful meditation. So today we will talk on the wisdom of truth, the importance of truth. So first and foremost, brief introduction on me. My name is Anil Dornala. I live in Virginia. So I'm part of the DC, Maryland, and Virginia chapter, supporting the vision and mission of Patriji's in the local area here. So I've been in meditation since '92 when I learned it from Patriji at Mother Pyramid at Karnool back home in India. It was a long journey, all the way coming here and trying to settle and then get back to the core principles of what truth is all about and why we have to live it and the existence of it. Over a period of time, started to realize truth is the ultimate reality and everything else is only illusion. Through my own sadhana, gone through a little bit of deeper experiences in the path of meditation, and also experimented quite a few things as part of my own journey through art of living, through idols, through different ways of meditations, all the techniques. Eventually, Anapanasati is the right meditation and the only meditation that can lead directly to truth. So, it for the last 10 years or so, we have been vigorously working in the local area, in the DME area, and promoting meditation to one and all. So, thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for the opportunity. So, today's subject is very abstract, the importance of truth. So, most of us come to spirituality for, meditation, of course, is part of spirituality, but we come to meditation to experience something. But quickly after you have a problem, you resolve it, or you have a situation that you overcome it, or you have a health or a healing that needs to happen and you have achieved it, over a period of time, you start to realize, okay, I'm doing meditation now. Whatever I came in for is already gone, long gone. Where am I going? Right? And very quickly, we'll start to realize that for the spirituality, the fundamental pillar that runs spirituality is truth. Right? So, truth, when you talk about it, in spiritual context, truth is not just about speaking honestly. Truth is basically living in alignment with reality, with the existence itself, and with your own inner consciousness. And truth is the foundation of all spiritual growth. Right? Every enlightened master has emphasized the importance of truth. Buddha talked about in the teachings of Dhamma the truth of existence. Mahavir spoke about it, truth as one of the highest wolves that exist out there. Shankaracharya spoke about it as Brahman alone is the ultimate truth. Like that, even Mahatma Gandhi said truth is God. So like that, every master, even Patriji said, truth alone exists. Live by the code of truth. So why did these great masters emphasis about truth? Right? Because spirituality itself means that you are journeying from your illusion to truth. That's the most important thing. Now, why am I sitting and meditating? You also, at some point, will start to wonder, right, how my journey has begun. How do I need to move away from my intentions or mind space in meditation to the soul space? Knowing your soul and being like, living with a soul consciousness is all about truth. So, how does the spirituality in search of truth start, right? So, if you really look at it, every one of us, the entire our spiritual journey begins with only one question: what is the truth of existence? Very simple question. It's like, who am I? Why am I here? What is life? What is consciousness? Why I was born and brought up here to this family? Some things of that nature will start to trigger within you as you have gone through your own meditation over time. When such questions start to arise, then we become more spiritually awakened. Most of us are, the human beings in general are social conditioned, We have the belief system, we have fears, we have illusions, there are like so many things that our mind creates within the life that we lead, that we don't see the reality. What spirituality does with meditation is about discovering the reality beyond these layers, right? It is not like truth is created by us. Truth is not created, truth is already exists. Spiritual practice with meditation simply removes the ignorance so that truth can be seen clearly. That's all we are trying to do. What we are trying to do is we're trying to get ourselves identified with what we are, letting go of the false identity and living with the real identity, right? Just the way the sun shines all the time, the clouds hide it. It's like truth always is present, but ignorance hides it. It's a very simple thing. My mind will not let me see the truth or be the truth. If I find a way to remove or to hide that mind, then I am that truth. So, what happens is meditation is the answer. Meditation removes the clouds. That way, you are able to see that sunshine. Similarly, meditation removes that ignorance so that you are able to see who you are and what you are and why you are here, right? Truth purifies the mind. That's the most important one. When I am trying to do meditation, right, I will be aligned with the truth, right? How does my mind get purified is when it's aligned with the truth. If my meditation is aligned with the truth, my mind will purify. When my mind purifies, all the false reality that I have created, the illusion world that I am living in, also goes away. Why is that, right? When a person lives in the falsehood, internally there will always be some level of disturbance, right? Whether it is fear, stress, inner conflict, lack of clarity, anything. But when we start to live in truth with meditation, the mind becomes more light, the mind becomes more transparent. It has nothing to hide anymore. That's why spiritual masters always emphasized the living truth, right? So I know I heard about truth, that is not enough. You have to live the truth, right? Why it is live the truth is because it is a self detoxification of your own act. We have to live truthfully. That way, the energies will flow freely. Our mind becomes more calm, centered, balanced. Our meditation deepens to the core. Our intuitions awaken, right? Truth is all about inner harmony. So when I try to bring the perspective as to how I look at truth, truth is not something that I'm going to bring it from outside. You are trying to become what you are, letting go of your false reality. So that's why in truth, it is more like, you have to be, truth brings that authenticity within you, right? The greatest transformation that happens to us in spirituality with meditation is you become authentic, right? Many people wear masks, right? Mask for society, masks for family, masks for work, masks for relations. But what spirituality does is it removes all these marks and you become the real you. If you are anger, if you get if you are very angry, right? Let's suppose you acknowledge that. You don't fight it. If you are confused, you acknowledge it. If you are learning, you acknowledge it. You will be self-honest to yourself. You're not going to hide yourself to say that I need to be that, I need to be this. All that, this, but, why will drop off, and you are living the truth. That's why meditation is very, very important. Without meditation, you won't be able to know how do I bring my self-honesty and my progress of spirituality. Right? The seeker must always ask. Every one of us should always ask, am I living in truth, or am I hiding behind illusions? How do I know? Am I matured in my space of truth? Is you should have the courage to ask yourself very clearly. Right? Are you living in illusion? Are you living in truth? That is spiritual maturity. So, to attain that spiritual maturity is where meditation comes in play. Why I'm doing meditation? Okay, I came to meditation. I did meditation. We are doing here for 41 days. Tomorrow is the last day here. What am I getting out of it? I got my, 1, 2, 3, whatever I'm looking for. It's all over. Now, that means that I don't have to do meditation? No. That means now you are ready to go into that path of truth. Right? Meditation is the direct path to experience truth. Right? Because you are not imagining something in meditation. You're simply observing reality as it stands. That's very, very important. Right? Whatever we resist will persist. Whatever we observe will transform. That's the truth. When you start to observe breath as it is, thoughts as they are, emotions as they are, and when your observation deepens, a great realization will happen. It's natural to happen. You're going beyond that state of clouds. When you are beyond the clouds, what you see is a beautiful sunshine. Similarly, when you begin to realize that you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are the witnessing consciousness, that realization is the ultimate truth. That's what we call Atmagnan, self-realization, enlightenment, freedom, liberation, salvation, nirvana. I mean, like so many names for that. Whatever name it may be, but when you start to realize that you are ultimately that, what you're looking for. So, by practice of meditation, what is happening? Meditation reveals the truth of who we really are. That's the goal. Then that's the purpose of meditation. But not everyone will start to realize truth from the day one, right? It is a journey. First of all, I need to remove my mind, fear, right? Whatever the falsehood has created within me, all that has to die off before I can realize myself. Because I feel that I must always be protected. I must always be taken care. I must always do this, do that. Right? What happens when we lie? We constantly worry. Nobody asks the question why you should lie to begin with, right? Everybody lies at some point in time. They constantly worry. What if you discover truth, right? A person who lives truthfully has nothing to hide. The very fact that we have started to realize truth brings fearlessness. That's why you see many saints and many masters, their lives are very simple, extremely simple, completely transparent. Their lives are like open books, nothing to hide. Whatever happens outside, is how their inside is. There are no two faces, two lives, two masks, right? So truth brings tremendous inner freedom. We have to start to embrace it when we do meditation, when we go deep in meditation, when we start to disassociate ourselves with the false realities of mind. Slowly, the practices deepens, and when that awakening happens within, we will start to realize, right? Truth alone exists. Why truth alone exists? Because that is aligned with the all the cosmic laws that operate this entire universe operate under this one pretext of truth. We all know that universe operates under universal laws, right? And truth is one of the highest universal principle that's out there. Whatever that limited intelligence I have, if I want to connect to the cosmic intelligence or the universal intelligence, truth is the only way. That's the gateway. So whatever I'm trying to get at, whatever I'm trying to become, when I live in truth, I am more harmonious, right? Decisions are very clear. Synchronization with the universe happens spontaneously. You will get guidance through your intuition. It's a natural way of living, right? You're obviously with the higher energies and higher vibrations. You're always with a higher consciousness. So there is so much of shift that happens within that you no longer have to try to live life the way you design it. The way you are meant to live is how you live, not the way you planned, right? If you try to put a context to this, right, in our work, we see people talking about it, all the time, right? A person who is manipulative, hides information, creates false impressions, or tries to falsify to prove himself, right? On the other hand, you have a person who works very honestly and transparently. So what happens is the manipulative person may appear successful. We have seen this over and over, right? One who is not truthful to himself or to others seems like he's getting a lot of success. He's the one who's getting limelight. He's the one who's getting better promotions. Everything seems to go in his way. But over time, the truth is lost. Over time, that very individual who you counted for, right? The relationship of that individual weakens because he has created this false illusion to live the life. His stress, his worries, the fear, everything goes up, and eventually he'll break down. But the person who is living in honesty, in transparency, right, builds a lot of trust, a lot of respect. I mean, we all see it every time, right? So what does truth do is truth creates that long-term stability and peace within. That is what we call spiritual life, right? Why I'm aspiring for spiritual life? For inner peace and happiness. So how is my evolution tied? My evolution is tied, or my deepening of meditation is tied back to my state of inner peace. As simple as that. How do I know that I am progressing in meditation towards truth? Is are you peaceful? Is peace something that you are enjoying, or is peace something that you are still wanting? Are you living by the code of truth? Are you trying to learn to be in the code of truth? Right? So it is a very easy distinction as you start to understand the scope and the way how truth unfolds when you meditate, right? Every one of us know that consciousness is the fundamental reality of existence. Everything that we see in the universe arises from consciousness, you know. So what is happening when I am meditating, right? This experience, whatever the universal consciousness, whatever the fundamental existence, you will directly experience it when you go deep in meditation. This realization is what we talked about, right? The Vedantic, the ancient Vedantic scriptures talk about this as Tat Tvam Asi. You are that. Tatvamasi. There are other Mahavakyas as well that talk about the same thing. But the point is, as you start to unravel this mystery of what is this all about, you are in the path of universe. You become one with the universe. You become one with the existence. You transcend the concept of death. So it is very important as we start to, we don't have much of a time here. I'm going to conclude it in the next 1 minute. But it requires courage. You will have to bring some kind of a deeper state of your meditation. And truth is not about, again, remember, it is not about religion, or philosophy. Truth is universal. It doesn't really affect in any ways. It doesn't matter who you are, right? So how do I experience truth? Through my own awareness. As I expand my awareness, as I grow my awareness within meditation, the more and more I live in the moment, the more and more I'm connected to this truth. So the practice that what we do every single day, when you close your eyes and observe your breath, is to realize that truth. That is the ultimate goal. And that is why we have been coming to earth every time we are taking a birth. That is the greatest wisdom as well. Right? So just as a conclusion, right, the importance cannot be overstated. So what I'm talking about today, the importance of truth is like, the tip of the surface, tip of the tip of the tip of the surface. When we start to experience the truth, that's when the the concept, what is the foundation of meditation, how it meditation purifies the mind, how the path of meditation will lead you into the fearlessness, how the doorway of self-realization will start to come out, you know how your thoughts are becoming more clear, what is your inner peace, how you can live harmoniously with everything coexisting, how your consciousness expands, how your inner awareness deepens. This is all about ultimate truth, right? If the statement that you get, right, from masters, even Patriji talks about it very, very, you know authoritatively, is we are not limited individuals, we are eternal consciousness. How is it even possible for me to experience something like that without having that deeper experience in meditation, right? In practice, therefore, we have to commit. Every one of us who is a meditator should commit at some point to ourselves that, hey, we will speak truth, we will live truth, and we will meditate to realize the ultimate truth. That is the goal. Because truth alone exists, and that's the direct experience that I receive through my meditation, right? So I know we are almost at the top of the hour. I'm going to stop here. This is a very deep topic, but I just want to introduce the concept of truth here. Any questions? There is one question. I have often seen people argue whatever they know. So there is a question here on the chat. I have often seen people argue that whatever they know as the truth and everything else false. Isn't truth very subjective? It is subjective when you are at the mind center. When you are using your mind to comprehend the truth, you are creating a story against it. right? You're trying to illusionally, you don't have that experience, that direct experience of truth. So what happens? You try to put words to it. When you try to do that, you interpret it differently. Truth is only one. Truth never changes. Truth is only one. But when you try to interpret using your limited mind, that's when you create the conflict. Your truth versus my truth. There are no two truths. There is only one truth. That's the eternal and ancient and immortal and supreme truth.
Very beautifully said, Anil sir. E- The way everything, I mean, anything, the only one thing that we need to seek as a spiritual seeker is ultimate is only truth. And we need a lot of courage even um, to choose that path. Even we all may speak that we are into spirituality and just by starting meditation. Yes, of course, that is the first step, but you know, to be able to take the truth as ultimate, to decide itself is a lot of courage that needs. And the worst part is once you choose that, to know the truth about your own self, to identify those are big eye openers at the same time, and they are the big threat, who not to seek truth doesn't like.
No, exactly, man. I think, we will know the light within, right? So when we come into the path of truth is when we start to realize how our lives are getting carried away mechanically. I want to come back to that question, who asked that, right? That did we answer the question, Pradeepa?
Yeah, like I just wanted to give a couple of examples, like why I posted that question, this arguments about truth, right? Like I've heard more from the religious people than anybody else. Say for example, there are at least two different religions, so this they use the same exact sentence, but they talk about the God they believe in. What they say is they say the name of the God and say he and he alone is the only true and savior, right? So and that's why they fight, they're ready to kill each other and all those things, right? Like if you ask any of those groups, they know for sure that is the truth, right? And for that they're even ready to kill the people, then what is true in that case? How do you tell either of those groups what is true?
So to answer that, right? So there are two things here. One is the truth as it stands as truth, and the interpretation of the truth by the individuals or limited cults, right? Now, in the interpretation, you can take the way you want to take it. Every religion has a way to interpret it, but ultimately, truth is only one thing. In your interpretation, if you have not brought it in a way that you understand the bigger picture, then what happens? It comes as a limited knowledge, and with that, people act. Right? It is very certain. But if you ask me, hey, what is the wisdom of truth? What is the ultimate truth? The ultimate truth is only one. Every individual has inner consciousness, and that consciousness is everywhere. It is universal. That is truth. So we cannot deny the fact that I do not experience truth. Every one of us are experiencing truth in our deep state of sleep every single day, every human being, in fact, every living being. Realizing that what you are experiencing, your deeper state of sleep, is truth. That is only one. That will never change, that cannot change. Because that is the one ultimately responsible for this entire universe. Now, what does change is people's interpretation. When you use your limited mind to interpret the truth in the context as to how you are looking at it, you try to create flavors of colors, right? You create a flavor of color for your own thing, and you start to propaganda that, and then you create a sect out of it, and that sectarian differences will start to come over, right? So over a period of time, even in the ancient time, you have seen these conflicts happened between all the societies is because of the way they have interpreted the truth, the way they've taken the truth. What is ultimately religion? Religion, why do you have religion? Religion is to purify the mind so that you can realize the truth. In the concept of purifying the mind is where these confusions have arisen. And the belief systems have started to come out. If you really look at it, it is ultimately the belief system. What I believe in my mind is what my destiny is, right? What you believe is your thoughts. What your thoughts are your words. What your words are your, actions. And your actions becomes your habits. Your habits eventually lead to your own moral values. And the moral values are your destiny. It all started with the belief system. So when you have started with your mind with a limited belief system that this is how I interpret it, and that's what becomes your destiny. And that's the reason religion cannot lead you into the ultimate truth. Religion can show you the pathway, and ultimately you have to let go of the religion because you cannot limit yourself. You're an unlimited entity. For you to realize that eventually, when the meditation deepens, you will start to realize that. I hope you got the answer.
Thank you for trying to explain. I'm just thinking, right? But the groups that I was talking about, right? But you cannot tell them so you are coming because of your limited belief, right? So you are not so they will always give some reference of a book or a talk or something like that, and they say this is it, this is the truth, right? And and everything else is false, and they don't even shy away saying everybody else is a false prophet, right? False messenger, false prophet, right? So so there is no again that's why I think truth becomes subjective, whatever a person believes, that's it, and you cannot tell them otherwise. So
see, it is not the truth that is becoming subjective. It is the belief system, right? The interpretation of the truth is subjective. So you have to see these are two different things, though. The ultimate truth is only one. But how do I interpret with my limited mind capacity, which is through my religion, is limited. So what happens is when I start to believe that this is the only way it is, I refuse to accept any other way or means, then I live by that code. And that's what is the problem. Now, second thing, to your question, right? How do I go tell? You don't tell. I mean, there is nothing to tell. Everyone has to realize on their own. That's why meditation is there. Right? Meditation is a beautiful tool which will give that experience to the individual as a direct path towards truth. Why we are teaching meditation and why we are promoting, why Patriji brought the society together is to give that experience to individuals so that you're not stuck by your religious code, you are beyond that. It doesn't mean that you are letting go of your religion. You are still in your religion, but you understand your capabilities and the capacity in terms of how to realize that within you. That's the goal here, right? I mean, because when somebody has a strong belief system, you go and tell something against that, you have just created a conflicting movement. You're not resolving the issue. So in that case, what meant to happen is supposed to give them that experience.
Okay. They could ultimately get the same experience. Okay.
Exactly. They will experience what you experience through your own direct path of meditation. If that experience is given to them, then they will experience it as
well. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
100% Anil Garu. Like, I always keep thinking when I realize, understand, accept that we are the soul that, which is not having any death and the reincarnation I believe in. But what happens, sometimes I ask myself, what happens to the people who doesn't believe in that as religiously? Still, they are also going to come back again and again, and one life they realize it. Just because they didn't realize in this life, it doesn't really change that factor. Like the truth is the soul is eternal. So yeah, I mean, the more we realize these kind of things, that more we realize it doesn't matter at this moment whether they are accepting or not, and their time will come. Maybe it's for now it's their fact, their truth, because of yeah, as you said, because of their belief system, whatever they've been trained. But really, if a person who really wants to look at the truth, or even have at least some curiosity about what is really in there, you see, even from all religions, even in the modern science, is now accepting that there is a reincarnation of the same, and that, yeah, there is something more beyond. At least they are into accepting that way, if not the soul eternal. So yeah.
Correct. Absolutely, ma'am. The soul evolution is the reason why someone is able to accept it and someone is not able to accept it. So it doesn't mean that it's there. Right? Yeah, Ramta, yes, Ramta talks about it. There are a lot of masters, right, who talk about it. Even if you read Tulasi, Patriji's books are all about truth, highest truth. So, White Book is a very good way to talk about it. Actual truth, what it is, and how it's left. There are like a lot of other masters too who have written. Seth has written about truth as well. Very deep subjects, very abstract subjects, but you'll be able to understand what truth is all about. Excellent. Any other questions?
Truth is the real strength that we all need to, achieve and attain. And the only way to come out of our fears. Yeah.
Correct.
Thank you so much. It's a very wonderful topic. Many times, even to be able to hear these kind of topics, you deserve that. You should have attained, earned some level. That is the reason, and you are ready to start your journey towards your truth. And yeah, it's a very big eye opener. Thank you so much to bring this topic to
Thank you.
all of us.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay.
So friends, if you don't have any more questions, tomorrow is the 41st day of the 41-day beginner meditation sessions. We all have come through all this journey, and we have done a wonderful silent meditation exactly during the hour of the lunar eclipse. Yeah, please do join tomorrow as well. And even after this also, please do continue meditation in your lives. That this is the only gift that you can really give, not just only for this life, for the lifetimes to come. See you guys tomorrow again. Thank you so much for your wonderful knowledge, bringing the truth to us, Anil Garu. It's really